Okay. This video's late.
It is late.
We had a very busy weekend. Yeah, we decided that the video could wait a day or two. So this is either going to be Tuesday or Wednesday when you see this.
Yes.
Hopefully not Thursday. Haha.
This week, we didn't want to go outside again.
This week's video is about Japan's love affair of cats. Love affair. Japan's love affair with cats. Yeah.
It was also an excuse to go back to that cat cafe. So
Vicky loves cats. So this is a semi-informational look at
Japanese history with cats. Japan has a very long history with cats, and it spans over the last 1,000 years or so. Japan doesn't really have its own native species of cat. There's only really one. It's found on this island called Iromote Island, which is actually part of Okinawa. It's not really a cat either, it's more like of a subspecies of leopard.
what are they called?
They're called Iromote Yamaneko.
So the something cat of Iromote.
Iromote mountain cat, basically.
Oh, well, yeah, okay, fine.
Unfortunately, they're very endangered.
So from what we historically know, the first cats were brought to Japan along with Buddhism, around the same time at least. It's thought that they were introduced around year 538, which is a long time ago.
It is.
It's thought that they might have been shipped with sacred texts, you know, just throw a cat in the box, to keep them safe from mice. Beyond that, it's thought that cats were kept by more well-to-do people, so royalty and nobles. People of repute.
There is a first definite record of a cat, because of course you're going to write about this cute little creature that got shipped in a box with sacred text. And it was recorded in a diary of this emperor that was called Emperor Uda. And this was in the late 800s. The cat was black, and it was brought from China in 884. But there's also a record of the first named cat, and it was called Myobu no Otodo, which is very old Japanese, because in ye olde Japan people had really long ass names. So apparently Myobu no Otodo means chief lady in waiting of the inner palace. Such a good name for a cat. This name was given to the cat by a different emperor called Emperor Ichijo. As the name suggests, the cat was given a very high rank within the imperial palace, and it even had its own ladies of waiting and servants too.
Jealous.
I have a feeling maybe in a previous life I was a lady in waiting to a cat.
Right.
Or I was the cat.
So historians think that cats were becoming more commonplace in the year thousands. Noughties. The noughties, the old ones, as they appear as one of the many characters in the Choujo Jinbutsu Giga, which is a famous set of picture scrolls thought of as by some as Japan's first ever manga, but apparently this is hotly contested.
Yes, amongst historians, because there's quite a few early examples of what people might regard as manga. What is manga? What is art?
The scrolls apparently have anthropomorphic drawings of monkeys, rabbits, frogs, and cats doing various things like playing, wrestling, and bathing. And you can see these scrolls in both the Kyoto and Tokyo museums.
I have a shirt with it on. I'm not going to show it because I don't want to get up. Japan's known for its characteristic bobtail Japanese cat. So it's a cat with a really, really short tail. Looks like a bunny rabbit tail. I bought this print. I don't know who it's by, I'm really sorry. But it's got an example of a bobtail cat, and he's looking out at Mount Fuji. And it's thought that these cats happened, because of the Edo period when Japan closed its borders to foreign nations, which meant cats were inbreeding a lot. So this trait of a bobtail happened.
There's a folklore.
Yes. Story time.
Story time.
Story time.
Yeah.
So the folklore behind why a Japanese bobtail cat exists. According to this folklore, a random bobtail cat's tail, or this random cat's tail caught fire and began spreading the fire as it ran around, being like, my tail was on fire, and burnt a lot of things down. So the Japanese emperor insisted that all cats must have their tails chopped off to stop them from setting fire to stuff.
That's not how genetics work.
That isn't how genetics work. So I'm gonna go with the inbreeding theory rather than the folklore on that one. But between the borders opening up for the Meiji Restoration and the end of World War II, and beyond the end of World War II, Japan opened up its borders again, which meant more breeds of cats could be brought in. So Japan now has many different cats.
Cats are a huge part of Japanese culture, and it's most likely because of their historically close relationship with Buddhism and the upper classes. Like in many cultures around the world, cats were valued for their pest control abilities and companionship. In Japan, they're also regarded as lucky creatures.
Mm-hmm.
Depending on what part of Japan you're in, can vary the folklore tale of why cats are lucky.
Mm-hmm. So what's the basic story?
The basic story is the cat saved someone from getting struck by lightning.
Story time part 2.
So the most common version of the legend starts with a poor monk who lived in a small temple in Tokyo during the 17th century who shared his meager meals with his pet cat Tama. Apparently one day, an important lord was on his way to a hunt. A storm suddenly sprung up, so he sheltered under a big-ass tree. While under the big-ass tree, the lord noticed the cat Tama waving his paw at the lord and was like, oh, that cat wants my attention. I'd best go see what's up. Went over to the cat, and then the tree got hit by a giant-ass bolt of lightning and blew the tree to smithereens.
Yep. So what did the lord do?
Became a patron of the temple, and apparently gave it the big money for the big upgrade. Gave them the hookup.
Hook them up.
Yeah. The temple that allegedly was that temple is now Gotokuji Temple in Tokyo.
You might recognize the lucky cat figurines that you see everywhere. The cats with one paw like this. In Japan, if you wave like this, it's kind of like, come here.
I didn't know that.
Those lucky cats called Maneki Neko are based on that story. You'll find them outside homes, on keychains, on phones. Quite common actually, but they represent like beckoning in good luck and fortune. So that's why cats are lucky here. On top of that, today you can still find loads of shrines that are dedicated to cats. Some of the more well-known ones include the one we just mentioned, the Kotokuji Temple in Tokyo, which is the one that's full of a bajillion lucky cat statues. And then there is Konoshima Jinja in Kyotango City, Kyoto. Then there's also Nambu Jinja Shrine in Nagaoka in Niigata Prefecture. But there's a lot, there's many,
yeah.
So many cat temples around Japan, so it's not hard to find one.
But they've also got cat islands, right?
I guess that's another one thing Japan's really well known for is its cat islands. The well-known ones is Aoshima in Ehime Prefecture and
Manabeshima
in Okayama.
Tashirojima in Miyagi Prefecture. Today, Japanese people still celebrate their relationship with cats by doing such things as visiting cat cafes. If they're lucky enough to have an apartment that allows it, a lot of people will keep cats. There are a couple of cats that have jobs. There are a few station cats that are quite famous around Japan. Japan has a long and varied history with cats.
Yeah.
They're largely considered to be lucky. And yeah, there are plenty of places you can go and see cats in the environment that they've been put in all around Japan.
And even if you can't find a real cat in Japan, you can see it in the bajillion different characters that they have.
Yes.
Like Hello Kitty, Kuroneko, all the other ones that I can't think of right now.
Cat Returns, Studio Ghibli.
Yeah, Studio Ghibli,
Good
Cat
film.
Returns, very good film. Yeah, you can find them everywhere. So if you love cats and you want to come to Japan and you want to check out Japanese cat culture, then I recommend looking up the temples that we've recommended, and also the islands.
And
for
a
your
good
own
cat
research.
cafe.
And a good cat cafe.
Cool. Well, that's this video. That's this week's video, and we're gonna go and make some food because we've just both been to the gym, and we're both hungry. We'll see you in the next video.
Yeah.
Of.
Maybe we'll go outside a bit more.
You're funny.
Okay, bye.
Bye.
I can't feel my leg. My leg.
My leg.
This leg.
Oh, I can't feel mine either.
I'm just gonna lie here now.
Hang on. Let me stop the camera so I don't film our petition.